I was just listening to my radio. I don't know, it was telling me to go. By this token, it was called pump radio. Pump radio, it's pump radio. Get that money, get some token. Crypto, Solana blockchain, it was simple. When I bought it, it was
With the most. It's your boy G Co. I am here with Daniel, the owner and the dev of KitKat. We'll get into that story here on the interview here real soon. So first things first is just go ahead and introduce yourself, man, and let us know a little bit about your background.
Sure. So my name is Daniel. I'm in San Francisco, as you guys know. As you know, that's where the story is coming out of. I'm new to this crypto Twitter space and this whole thing. So I'm learning as we go. My family originally from Jordan in the Middle East. Parents moved here in the 70s and 80s. My dad's been in that business for, let's say, the last 30 plus years, since he came to this country. And I grew up around that store, grew up around that business, and very family oriented, close to family, close to church, very involved in our church and stuff like that. So very close with a lot of people, especially at the store. We have a tight knit community, as you can tell from the outpouring of love that came out. We were really close. We are really close with all of our neighbors and all of our community. It's been an overwhelming outpouring of love from our local community, as well as the online community.
Yeah, I've noticed that the past few days, just being in the spaces with you, I've been seeing that. So, it's good that you got a good community. It's good you got good support when it comes to this moment. You know what I mean? And if you don't mind me asking you, can you tell us a little bit about Rhonda's Market? I know your dad bought it back in like the 2000s. What makes it like the community spot of that area?
Yeah, I think what makes it the community spot is just the way that we treat our customers. We treat them like family. Even doesn't matter what walk of life you're at. We have people that come in tech. As you know, San Francisco is big in tech. We have people that are having might not have the best time in their life. And regardless of where they're at, we treat everybody with respect and everybody like family. And I think that's that really brings everybody together. And then when you throw in a bodega cat or the store cat like KitKat into the mix, it really ties everything into like a perfect bundle of community, a perfect bundle of like family with everybody that we're seeing on a day-to-day basis. The neighbors that live around us, the people that work nearby. We've been told I actually live closer to the other store, but because I like you guys more, I come here. It's like stuff like that that really drives us to do things the right way and for the right reason.
Nice, man. Nice. And what was it like growing up working there, full time through college? Share your favorite family memory there.
Yeah, there's a lot of memories. I remember growing up, I used to work with my grandpa. He would pick me up every Saturday morning, probably like in my early teenage years. And I would go work with him, and he was a tough guy. He moved here to this country when he was older, and he was like very stern, and he was intimidating. So he would intimidate the customers, and he knew if he's there, he's not messing around.
Right.
And then as I got older, working my way through college there, working full time while in college. So I studied business, and it was perfect environment to be in. You're studying business, helping to run a business, and then so there's so many memories. But I think looking back, it was my grandpa's passed since, but working with my grandpa has been great. Then after that, working with my dad, and just the family memories that we have there with everybody.
Yeah, family's everything. You know what I mean? Definitely, family is everything. How has the store become like a second home for the Mission District neighbors? I was hearing about that.
Yeah, it's I feel like it's just a place where people feel comfortable. You can come in and you can we have people that come in, they don't even buy anything. They just come to talk. They just come to, pet KitKat. They just come to see who's working and, start up a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, a comfortable place. And I think a lot of our customers would vouch for that. Yeah, it's just, especially when you're seeing everybody, if you're seeing people every day, it's like, sometimes your coworkers are like family, right? And it's like
Mm-hmm.
these people, they're like family to us. We love our customers, and they love us, and they love the KitKat. They really did it. You can tell by the outpouring of love. Like, if KitKat was just another cat, I don't think any of this would be happening. Um,
Right.
None of this story wouldn't have gone viral. And so, like I said earlier, KitKat was like uh, the glue that stuck the community together. Brought everybody together. There's so many pictures and videos that I've been shared this last week, and it's truly like humbling to get those and see that, and see how loved of course we are, and how loved our customers are, and how loved KitKat was.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah, I see a lot of love when it comes to KitKat. You know what I mean? Especially being in this community, these past few days. Yeah, there's a lot of support. A lot of people, loved your cat. You know what I mean? It's awesome. I heard your cat was like the mayor of the city. You know what I mean? So that's pretty
Yeah.
cool. That's pretty cool. And just another question I got for you as well is how did KitKat join your family?
Yeah, good question. So, let's see this. So we took in the cat into the store in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
Before that, it was, I believe, a stray cat, and it was at my mom's aunt's house, so my great aunt.
Okay.
And at first it was just outside, and my great aunt would feed the cat, and eventually she'd leave the door open, and the cat would come inside, and she really, had a great relationship with the cat.
Mm-hmm.
She nicknamed, I mean, it's might be in Arabic, but she nicknamed the cat KITKAT, which
Okay.
is where we got KitKat from.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
and as her health was declining towards the later years of her life, she wanted KitKat to go to a good home. And we were close by. The store is like, in the city, maybe half a mile or so away from where she was living.
Mm-hmm.
So my mom brought it over, and since then, he's been a member of that family, a member of that community, and really just was part of the store like any other employee, any other customer. Just he was part of the community.
Yeah, I was gonna ask that. Like what was KitKat's personality like? Being at the store.
Yeah, KitKat had a unique personality. He was just so friendly, so lovable. Like, if you go through our Instagram page, you can see he's uh, you know he always wants a pet. He loves treats. He loves people feeding him. He's, and sometimes he had his moods where he's like, nah, I'm not getting up. I'm not going to go see you. How cats can be. But overall, he was very friendly, and you can see that by all the videos and all the pictures that are going around. He was a one of a kind cat.
Nice. And every time like customers would come to your shop, uh, you know, I bet you would be up there greeting. I bet you probably knew a lot of regulars that would go in there, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, so the nickname that they had for him was the mayor of 16th Street. Our store is on 16th Street, and we have a bar on either side of the store, and then there's a theater next door as well. And he would walk into the bar, and like he owned the place, and he would get all the attention, he would get all the pets, he would get everything. There's a restaurant close by, a shawarma spot. He would walk down there, stare up at the employees, and wait for them to throw chicken at him. So he really ran the block, and that's, yeah. And wherever he went, he was loved. They treated him with love, and so huge compliments to our neighbors who are around there, and treated KitKat like their own family.
Yeah. So shout outs to the neighbors, man. Thank you for doing that. And the main question I got to ask you here is, what happened to KitKat the evening of October 27th outside your store?
Yeah, so on that evening, October 27th, it was a Monday night. Around 11:30 or so, KitKat was tragically struck by a Waymo car, and at you know the at my dad was not at the store at that time, so somebody called him, one of the neighbors,
Okay.
and let him know that KitKat had been struck. So he drove down there at that time. Once he got to the store, they told him that the cat was taken to an emergency hospital for pets.
Hmm.
He drove to the emergency, and unfortunately, he was given the news that the cat had passed. And so he had a long night. Being called at 11:30, he was in bed, and then having to drive down, and then getting the news that the beloved store cat had passed. It was a long night for him, and my mom was with him as well, so they both went down. Um, and then the next day is when the story really started going viral.
Yeah, I was gonna ask that. I definitely want to say sorry for your loss. Tell your family also my condolences as well. But that's what I was gonna ask. The next day, how did the community react to that incident?
Yeah, yeah. So I didn't find out until the next day, the Tuesday morning.
Okay.
Um, and the first thing I thought was, oh man, our customers are gonna be distraught. I
Hmm.
knew how much KitKat was loved by the customers. So I run the Instagram for the store. I run the social media page.
Okay.
Um, I said, we have to let our customers know, and I posted that around 8 a.m. Tuesday morning, and instantly, it was getting a ton of likes, a lot more likes than any other post that we've posted. I posted a message, rest in peace. Sadly, KitKat has passed away, um, and yeah, it just started spreading like wildfire. We were getting reposted and getting messages left and right, and getting phone calls at the store with condolences, and just an amazing outpouring of love from the community. And yeah, it was a sad moment. It was somber at the store that day. Um, I wasn't there that day, but my dad was. He was working, and people coming in, like crying, shedding tears, like hugging each other. It was like a member of the community had passed, and it was a member of the community, and it was, it was a cat, but it was a heavy loss for the store.
Yeah, I bet. Especially if everybody loved Kit Kat. You know what I mean? It definitely was probably a big loss for everybody. And when you did make that post, I heard that you did put that post out. It exploded everywhere. News stories, calls, and even Elon Musk. You know what I mean? What surprised you most about all that love?
Yeah, what surprised me most was just to see how much love it was getting.
Hmm.
Um, it Yeah, it was just like really unbelievable. Like even to this day, I look back at the last week, and I can't believe like what a week it's been. It's bittersweet, of course. We lost the cat,
Hmm.
but just the outpouring of love, the outpouring of support has just been incredible. It just goes to show that the tight knit community that we had, um, the amount of love that we have for all of our community, our customers, and the amount of love that everybody had for KitKat. It's just an incredible outpouring of love that we've never experienced before,
Hmm.
and it's just like, and seeing it spread online, like, just local news, starting with local news, getting phone calls from local news stations to even national news, and uh, seeing Elon's tweet was, I never thought that you would there would be a tweet from Elon Musk, of all people,
Hmm.
uh, tied to something that I've experienced, like so personal like this.
Yeah.
So it's just like to see the story getting big, to see you know my dad's name printed in local newspapers, on TV. I think, yeah, it's just like truly unbelievable. Like I said, bittersweet. Bitter, we lost a cat, but sweet because we're just feeling so much love and support.
Yeah, and I saw outside your store there. it had like signs and flowers, like a little shrine going on. What did that mean to you? Did you do that, or your dad, or did just the community started doing that?
Yeah, it's actually started by our community. It was the bar manager from the bar next door.
Okay.
Um, she came and she set up, so she set up, a couple crates the first day, and people were bringing flowers. And then the next day, it was growing and growing, and each day it just got more and more. Uh, it was really just a beautiful memorial. People would come and write notes, people would leave pictures, people would leave KitKat bars. Funny enough,
Right.
um, whatever people were doing, like it was a place where people could mourn KitKat,
Hmm.
and you know, just seeing people walk by, standing, acknowledging it, and taking pictures and going, and it's just like, yeah, it's a remarkable, just story, remarkable experience.
I bet. I bet you was definitely something you probably have never experienced before. So, and another question I got for you. This one's a little deep, So, the question I got to ask for you on this one is, uh, let's see here. People started making money off of other KitKat meme coins. How did you feel about that? Because you're the main owner of the KitKat. You made your remember KitKat token, but I saw that other people were trying to profit off that as well. Like, how did that make you feel?
Yeah. Again, I'm new to this space.
Mm-hmm.
I can imagine, like, once something goes viral like this, there's people jumping at the bit to get a piece of that pie, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know the severity of it, like the how big it was. But yeah, it just I think it didn't feel right with our family that people were profiting off of a loss like this.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Especially people that didn't know who KitKat was, didn't experience the love that KitKat had, the love that was given to KitKat, and people, out there profiting off of that. And there's always people that are trying to profit off of everything, but it just definitely felt like um, it wasn't right. It didn't sit right with us, and yeah, it was just shouldn't have been happening.
Yeah, it was crazy to see all that. What I mean, coming in the spaces and doing it. I was just like, wow, there's just so much going on. What I mean, I had to pretty much dig real deep to see what was going on with this whole thing, and I'm glad I found you, man, because what I mean. Now we
Yeah.
get this story heard, and one thing I got to ask you as well is, remember KitKat, that's your token. That's just a way of honoring your cat, right?
Yeah, we wanted to honor the cat, and like, um, one, like, obviously, uh, the the nature of this happening to an animal, to a cat.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we created the coin, remember KitKat, and what we want to do with it is support local, for now local, and who knows, maybe as this project grows, as this coin grows, we can go national, and we can go, you know, maybe international. But we want to support local shelters. We want to support local animal organizations
Oh,
that
nice.
help animals, because uh, so here's a story, that I
Mm-hmm.
haven't shared with anybody on space yet.
Okay.
Uh, but well, not we, when the one of our neighbors took KitKat to the emergency
Mm-hmm.
hospital.
Mm-hmm.
At first, they called my dad and said, there's going to be a bill for this. And my dad said, sure, that's fine. It's an emergency. We have no choice. We just want to make sure that KitKat will be better. But then, sadly, KitKat didn't make it. And when my parents went there to pick up KitKat, they didn't charge us, right? They dropped the bill, which is a huge gesture, and we're so grateful to that. And yeah, it's so that's one reason why we want to use this opportunity to give back to animal organizations, places that help animals. Um, like I said, first locally, this is a local story first, like, right? We're in San Francisco. We want to give back to our city. I was born in San Francisco, right? I was raised in San Francisco, went to college in San Francisco. So I want to give back to this city and my dad as well. He's the owner of the store. The store that gave him this opportunity to have a business and to have what we have. So we want to show gratitude to the city that we were raised in, or I was raised in, that my dad moved to a new country to. And then, yeah, from there, who knows? We'd love to help as much as we can, just depending on how things go from here.
Yeah, definitely. And and a question I got for you as well is, your KitKat got hit by a self-driving taxi. So if everybody's tuning in, what that is, there's no driver. It's just it's all pretty much, AI is what it is. And what changes for self-driving cars in your neighborhood? Like, what would you want in your neighborhood for those kind of things?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think I think the self-driving industry needs to make sure that safety is the number one priority. Um, I don't, to be honest, I don't know the tech, but there was a cat underneath a car, and then the car drove off and ran over a cat, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe there should be sensors under the car. Maybe there should be, whatever it needs to be, because today or this week it was a cat. Next time it could be a child, right? Like,
Right.
whatever
Right.
needs to be, whatever needs to be done to make sure that this doesn't happen again. And yeah, that's the most important thing, safety. Because obviously, in the world we're living in, technology is moving quickly. If in San Francisco, you can't sneeze without seeing a Waymo or another electric vehicle. So they're all over the place. And I'm sure if you're in a city that doesn't have it, they're coming to you soon.
Oh,
But
definitely.
before they get everywhere, I think safety needs to be the number one priority.
Definitely. And like you said, sensors in the car would be beneficial because who knows, what I mean? Not even just a kid, but if anybody just ends up falling or something like that, that car's not going to see that. I mean? Like, they definitely need to have more safety measures when it comes to that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? It's been very emotional these past couple of days for, with you and your dad. Like, how you guys coping with it, with this whole situation?
Yeah, it's been, bittersweet. Like I said, um, the atmosphere at the store is somber.
Mm-hmm.
People are mourning, and sad, right? And then also it's also like there's so much love that you can feel. You can walk on in front of the memorial. You can walk into the store and you'll feel the love, like, physically. It's just like it's a heavy feeling of love, of just being together, of community. And then the outpouring of love online is also incredible. So it's there's just so many different angles to this story. It's a unique story. It's a one of a kind story. It's surreal for me to be experiencing this, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
If you told me this would be my life a week ago, I would have called you crazy. So it's unreal. It's sad. And it's also like it's an opportunity for us to give back to the community, for us to use this tragedy into a blessing for others.
Definitely, definitely. And I know it is kind of soon, but would you ever have another store pet or anything like that, or was Kit Kat like the one and only?
Yeah, so Kit Kat's always going to be the one and only. There's never
Right.
going to be another Kit Kat.
Mm-hmm.
And people have asked my dad if he's interested in getting another cat, and even somebody even tried to come and give the store a cat. I don't know if you've heard that
Really?
story.
No, I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
yeah, somebody tried to come and give the store a cat. And right now he said, we want to give Kit Kat his respect. We want to mourn Kit Kat. Um, and when the time is right, if it works out, we'll get another cat for the store.
Hmm.
But yeah, definitely right now he's not thinking of another cat. He's just thinking
I
of
bet.
yeah, using this to strengthen the community and give back to the community. But yeah, we'll see. I guess we'll see in the future if we will.
Yeah. And in your words, if you're just to describe Kit Kat just in one word, what would that word be?
One word to describe Kit Kat. That's a great question. I'd say lovable.
Lovable.
He
Okay.
he was just so lovable. Um, there you can scroll through our Instagram. You can look up hashtag you know Kit Kat, and you'll see just tons of pictures. And he's posing in these pictures. He's photogenic, um,
Hmm.
and videos of people just like loving up on the cat. Um, and I think the reason this story is blowing up is because Kit Kat was lovable.
That's a good word. That's a good word to describe Kit Kat. You know what I mean? Yeah, I was watching a lot of the videos, a lot of photos, and yeah, your cat was very loved. Yeah, I mean, definitely very loved. And um, you know, if you don't mind me asking, like, what was like your funniest moment with Kit Kat, or a customer's moment, or your dad's moment? Like, what was the most funniest moment you ever experienced with Kit Kat?
Yeah, I think one of the funniest moments that we've experienced, sometimes, a couple times actually, Kit Kat would drag in a pigeon from the street. Cats like they'll bring you gifts, right,
Yep.
to
Yeah.
show their love. And he would sneak up on the pigeons and drag them into the store and bring it to whoever's there working and bring it to them as a gift. And yeah, that to us that showed like, of course he's loved, but he also loves us, right? To bring
Hmm.
for a cat to do that, that shows him love. And it got to the point where it was, happening often. We ended up putting a bell around his neck
Okay.
so that as he was like sneaking up on the pigeons, they would hear him coming, and so he wouldn't bring them into the store. Because we
That's a
don't
good.
want a pigeon flying around the store, stuff like that.
That's a good
But yeah,
idea.
yeah, so we threw a bell around his neck, and then eventually the pigeons would hear him coming, and he stopped catching them.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, that is a pretty funny moment, definitely. And um, what if you don't mind me asking as well is what's the best way fans can support Remember Kit Kat? Like, what's the best way they can support you and Kit Kat them and your dad and all the mission district. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think the best way is if you're in the local area, come by the store, come to the memorial, come take a look. Um, it's been 5 days. I don't know if I think the last I saw yesterday the memorial was still up. I haven't checked today if it's still up. But come stop by, come inside, tell us that you've seen the Kit Kat story and you've been touched by it and you appreciate it. And if you're online, yeah, just know that if you're supporting Remember Kit Kat, you're supporting local animals in San Francisco, local shelters, local organizations that help animals.
And if people were to go to the memorial today, what would it look like?
Yeah. So yesterday it was like extensive. It
Hmm.
There were flowers, so many flowers that we couldn't keep them up, like all of them. It was um, an abundance of flowers, abundance of candles lit, um, just so big. Like it started off with the first day, like just a couple of flowers, and then slowly throughout the day, adding more and more, and then each day it would grow and grow, and it was just so there's a tree right out front our store, and there was just pictures of Kit Kat hung, and um, just it got really big. Like it took over the whole storefront. And we want to keep something like that going. So I'm talking to my dad about what we can do. Maybe some sort of picture of Kit Kat or some sort of you know way to have a memorial for Kit Kat, like some sort of statue or
Hmm.
something like that,
Hmm.
where people can come and pay their respects.
Oh, that'd be cool. That would be awesome. I mean, it keeps it alive. Yeah, I mean, definitely keeps it alive. And you know, if you had a message to say to all the people that love Kit Kat, what would your message be?
My message would be thank you for the love, and that love that you had for Kit Kat, it went through Kit Kat and it came to us as well. And we feel the love, and we love our community, our customers, our neighbors, our family, as much as they love Kit Kat. So yeah, we definitely thank them for everything that they've done. You know, we have people come in and bring Kit Kat a snack every day, right?
Mm-hmm.
We had people come in and bring Kit Kat a new bed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like whatever Kit Kat needed, we didn't really have to do much because people were doing for Kit Kat. And that just shows like how much love Kit Kat had.
Yeah, definitely. That's a lot of love, and shout outs to everybody that did love Kit Kat. You know what I mean? Um, it's yeah, it's just very tragic that this happened. And you know, if the one thing I got to ask you is like, with you, your dad, and your family, and everybody else, what's the next what's next for you and Rhonda's Market, your dad? What's the next steps now that you guys are going to be doing now?
Yeah, our next steps, like I said, we want to figure out a memorial for Kit Kat, a long-term memorial that we can have, and then also giving back, which we're going to start soon, giving back to our local community, uh, especially animal organizations, and then just keeping the love going. We love our customers; they love us. We just want to keep that love going. In Kit Kat's memory, we want to use that to keep things going and keep the momentum going. The world can be a dark place, so we just want to use this moment of togetherness, of light, and just keep that going forward.
Awesome. And we're going to the end of our interview now. So, excuse me. The last thing that I got to ask you is, or have you do, is just let everybody know who you are, where they can find you, where they could get in contact with you, and anything else you want to say to end off this interview.
Yeah, my name is Daniel. You can find me on Twitter at Zidaniel, Zeidanielsr, senior. You can follow me there. So you can support the coin by following Remember Kit Kat on Twitter as well. Our store's Instagram is at Randa's Market. So when I used to what I used to say is Randa's Market. It's like pandas with an R. So that's an easy way to remember it.
Oh,
So you
okay.
can follow us on Instagram. Just got to plug that real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you can find us at the store. We're open 7 days a week. If you're ever around, come say hi. Come let us know that you love Kit Kat, that you're going to remember Kit Kat, and that you're sharing love with us.
Nice. And I appreciate you being here, Daniel. I appreciate you taking the time to do the interview with me. I just wanted to get your story out there. I know there's a lot. You've been out here, talking about it. You had your community out here talking about it. But, we definitely need to make this something we could save and for people to come back to and watch at any time. So I definitely appreciate you being here on my show. I definitely appreciate you doing this interview. And I wish you, your family, and the whole district, the best.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thanks for having me. Appreciate the time you're giving me. Appreciate the whole community has been really supportive. Of course, there's always a couple bad apples, but to be honest, I've been ignoring that and just focusing on the love and the positivity.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a man of faith. I'm a Christian, and I just want to use this moment and use this time to thank God and glorify God for this experience. And I believe that good can come out of this. Good can come out of any situation, and a tragedy happened, but good can come out of it, and
Definitely.
we're gonna push forward to see that.
Definitely. And yeah, if you need anything, you're more than welcome to come back here to Pump Radio at any time to come hang out with us. Or if you need, anything from us, just let us know. You know what I mean? I got a good community as well. We're more than, happy to help.
Radio. Check, 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 yeah, check, 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 yeah, yeah, check, 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 yeah, check, 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 yeah, check, 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 yeah, check, check, check.